Hello everyone, welcome to online university courses. It's me, Riya KT, to deal with the branch of biology called immunology. Keep watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel. As we all know, immunology is the study of immune system, isn't it? And as usual, the term immunology also derived from the Latin word immunis, which means exempt. Clear? What's the meaning of exempt? Exempt is simply mean the protection from any infectious disease. And you know that to learn a subject and dive deep into it, we must learn some of the important histories, isn't it? So, today in this session, I am dealing with some important histories related to our immunology. So, let's get started. The branch immunology, which was started with the observation that many individuals who have recovered from certain diseases never developed the same diseases again. This was the turning point towards the immunology. The earliest written evidence for the concept is by Thucydides, who was a great historian of Peloponnesian War. This was the first written evidence that in the BC 430. Okay. So, while describing a disease called plague in Athens, he wrote that those who have recovered from the plague could nurse the sick because why? They would not contract the disease second time. And this was the proof that immunology or immunity exists. Even we have learned historians like Thucydides were concerned about immunology or immunity. It took a long gap to convert this idea into medical practices. That means almost 2000 years have lagged before converting the concept of immunology into medical practices. Clear? Such a long period. Okay. And the first evidence or first record was by Chinese and Turks. They attempt to induce immunity towards smallpox. So, first recorded attempt to induce immunity was performed by whom? Chinese and Turks in 15th century. Okay, clear? So, they were trying to protect the protect from smallpox. Okay. Report says that they used as a protection against smallpox. We are going to discuss. They used dried crust from smallpox pustule. The dried crust from the smallpox pustule were inhaled or inserted injected into small cuts in the skin. Okay, so they inserted the dried crust from smallpox pustules. Okay, I think it's clear. And this technique, they call this technique as variolation. Okay. Later, in the year of 1780, the wife of British ambassador in Constantinople, Mary Wortley Montague, came to know about the technique used by Chinese and Turk that we have already discussed called variolation, and performed this method or technique in her own children. The result was success and the children become immune to smallpox. And this resulted the spread of the technique variation in throughout or in Europe or throughout the Europe. And I think this session is clear for you. Now we can move into or learn about some of the important milestones in the history of immunology and their contributions towards immunology. First, we can look at Edward Jenner, who was a English physician, and he was known as the father of smallpox vaccine. While practicing as a or learning as a physician, he came to know that a lady saying to the doctor she could not contract with smallpox because she once had cowpox. That means he heard a lady saying that she is not going to infect by smallpox because she had cowpox. This struck in the mind of Edward Jenner, and later in the year of 1798, Edward Jenner started to test his hypothesis or idea. So his experiment was that he collected fluid from whom a lady who was affected by cowpox. Okay, she was a milkmaid, and he intentionally injected this fluid into an 18-year boy. Then what happened? As the fluid was from the cowpox, the boy infected with a mild case of cowpox. It was not at all severe. Later, Jenner inoculated the boy with the material from smallpox. Okay, then what happened? The experiment was success, that is, the boy was unaffected. Okay, clear. The boy was unaffected. The experiment was success. It was a great milestone in the history of immunology or vaccine. After Edward Jenner, we can look what are the contributions of Robert Koch in the field of immunology, and he was a German physician. He established that the relationship between Bacillus anthracis and the disease anthrax. We all know what is the relation, but it is because of his experiment. Okay, it was conducted in the year of 1875 and to 1876. Okay, now we can move or learn what was his experiment. What was the experiment done by Robert Koch? We can look. In order to find the relation between Bacillus anthracis and the disease anthrax, he first isolated some microorganism from a dead animal. Then what he did? He cultured or grown these microorganisms in a pure culture and also identified what is the microorganism is. Okay, then in this next step, he injected this newly grown culture into a healthy animal. Okay, nothing to be confused. The healthy animal is got infected. That means the disease is reappeared in the second animal. And again, he isolated the microorganism in the second animal and cultured. Then what he did with a series of this process, he find or identified these microorganisms are identical, which is cause for the disease anthrax. Clear? I believe that all the concept which I had discussed throughout this session is clear for you guys, and thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe to our channel Online University Courses and share with your friends. Don't forget to press the bell icon in order to get notified about our latest updates, and stay tuned. Thank you.